The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.
And here we are at adventuresfromtheshed.com. I'm going to push a button here and you can see us. Hi! Of course, yes, you can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. You can find us here on the YouTubes, Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, other places. The webzonating.
Spotify. Yeah, we'll get an onion site soon, so we guys want to be super secret. No, we're not going to do that. We probably shouldn't have said that.
Actually, I don't know what that is.
Instead of an onion site, let's do a pineapple site, like .pineapple.
Would be
I'm going to have to create a new browser for that.
Are we going straight to this already? Because from what I've heard recently, science has proven there's a problem with hot pineapple. The problem is it sucks.
I love it so much.
I just want you to know that. There's no question about it whatsoever now. So we're getting back into our Cyberpunk campaign. And today we're titling it, Kurt, you have to do this above your head. It's The Pit. You say,
we mixed our seating arrangement.
We did.
Just to mess with everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris teleported. He did a missy step over to the other end of the table.
And he's over there now. So, actually, Chris, why don't you say hi first?
Hey, it's me, Chris, the Game Master. I just want to say, because, we're recording this after, 2 episodes, I think, of the Cyberpunk thing. Yep. So, I was kind of like D&D was my bread and butter. Cyberpunk was like the little bitty thing, so I might have screwed some things up and all that jazz. So all you Cyberpunk fans don't pin me down too bad on some of the stuff.
Yeah, but it's our game, so you
I'm definitely going to change a lot of the timeline around that which they had originally had for this. I'm trying to use as much of the created Cyberpunk world, but
cool.
But there's only one rule when it comes to Cyberpunk, Chris.
What's that?
If we're having fun,
that's true.
It's all good.
All right, and why don't you say hi, Kurt? Who are you playing?
Hey, this is Kurt. I am playing Kenji Jalast. He is the half-Asian invasion known as X. He is the katana-wielding, dual pistol, popping badass.
He's the kamikaze of cool.
I like it.
I like the half-Asian invasion.
Yeah.
And I am Joe. I'm playing Lance Birdman Hawk. Mercenary. Well, actually, it's the Merc is the name of the class. So where do we leave off? Actually, we kind of just cheated and listened to where we left off last.
And before that, disclaimer, any of you who are longtime listeners probably know that I tend to forget my character sheet more than anyone who's ever played an RPG.
Because he's a noob.
Which is one way of saying Kurt forgot his character sheet today.
Right, and so I had a new policy, which was to always leave my character sheet in the shed so that I could not forget it. And it seems that I broke that policy on week 3. So I have recreated my character sheet. I know it's super close, but if 1 or 2 stats are different than they were last episode, c'est la vie.
What would Cthulhu say about that?
He would say, Kurt, you idiot! I will devour your soul the next time you forget your character sheet.
Yes.
That's that.
And for this session, I set up another thing just for fun, for us at least. You'll actually get to see like some dice rolls. When we make dice rolls here, you can actually see them, which is kind of neat.
Makes it harder for us to fudge.
Yeah, and then we have this other camera view that's sitting right in the middle there. So there we go.
Awesome sauce.
Thank you, Kurt. So a hot brass shell went into the grenades.
Yeah.
Now I'm assuming this is like a crate of grenades with the straw in it and everything, right? Of course, yeah. Right.
I think we should do a quick recap of the first 2 episodes.
And by we, I think Kurt should do it.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so we are...
I'll interject where I need to.
I was going to say, Chris can definitely direct us. But, we're playing in 2050 Los Angeles. It's a world of massive urban sprawl, kind of city everywhere you look. There's a lunar colony. There is something called a Veer Society, which is a terrorist organization. Corporations run everything. Liquid holdings and lifelong cybernetics are particularly important, that we think. And our adventure basically starts when a former flame of X, Sheila Eastlake, approaches him, basically asking for help with a protection job. And X accepts that job in exchange for $1 million credits or $1 million, which is the
It was a
only
lot more than that, but it was so much that you couldn't believe how much it was.
Yeah, and he calls his old friend Tweety Bird, the Hawkman, for help. And the job is basically they need to get a young, pregnant teenager, blonde teenager named Cassidy, to Pittsburgh because there's been information coded into her DNA, or the DNA of her unborn baby, that's going to be kind of crucial to, I can't remember exactly what, but something crucial. And
it has to deal with liquid holdings and LifeLog cybernetics kind of stuff.
Wasn't there something like the code in the baby was going to make AI able to take over all the jobs or something like that?
Well, and I had information about that those two companies were replacing a lot of liquid holdings employees with androids. So basically, they were killing the people and replacing them with android. Kind of like replicants, or you want to say, or complete replacements, and then even like so friends and family wouldn't even know if you who you were. So this has all the information that has all the people's names and what the experiments and everything, all the information on there.
Okay,
that deals with that.
So Hawk and X basically end up in a kind of a motorcycle car chase to the airport. They're getting tracked by.
That was crazy. Those are some really tough thugs.
Yeah, they were hardcore.
I hit him with, I think, a motorcycle and a BMW, and he just kept coming.
They kept coming.
Yeah.
And we relied on X's hacker friend, Yvette, who goes by Y. So we've got X and Y, who helped us do some hacking at the airport. We ended up getting out on a private jet to Pittsburgh. And then the short version, what happened there, I think, was we stole a car or we stole a truck.
Well, what made the plane go down? Wasn't that like an EMP blast?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's like probably you think it was the antimatter warhead.
I wrote that down too.
Yep.
Antimatter warhead that was stolen. Yes.
And we ended up.
So it was like a small nuclear, device.
Okay.
Yeah. In maybe West Virginia.
Well, not sure where it went off, but you guys were over West Virginia at the time, right? You caught the effects of it.
Fortunately, one of my contacts is a survival prepper, kind of a crazy dude. I call him the Nug, the New J,
Teddy Nug,
and he had a place stocked with weapons, and that's where Huck and I made our way, I guess, with Cassidy.
So he not only had weapons, I think he had like a '68 Camaro as well.
Yeah, '67 Camaro.
And we ended up in a fight there with two
more of those
bad guys, and it was awesome. Sniper rifles, hand knives, but it ended up with the I think as a result of a failure.
I think that was yours.
Yeah, the hot brass ended up hitting a box full of grenades, and I think that's where we ended.
There. I don't know that there's any cybernetic implant that puts out fires, but the Nug's got to have a fire extinguisher around here somewhere. So my first thing would be lunge for the fire extinguisher hanging by the door. There has to be one. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah. Chris can say otherwise, of course.
There's especially if it's a garage setup where you might have fires happen.
Yeah, because it should cool off.
But then you realize, well, it's just hot brass, and it's you can just pick it up and toss it out, so it's nothing crazy.
I don't know if I want to burn my finger. Yeah. I can get a blister.
Oh, hey, one more thing. At the end of that episode, you had told me something. There was a message from my partner.
Yeah, he says, Zenshin has a message for you, Kenji, but then, the Hawk blew his head off, so you're not going to get that message.
Right. But Zenshin was my like right-hand man partner who I had thought was dead. So the fact that there might be a message from him is interesting.
Yeah, that was actually that little note sitting over there on the table was a note that Chris passed to you. So that was one thing you left, by the way. You didn't leave a character sheet.
I left my note, but not that.
Yeah, which is basically like I think Yvette told you that maybe, or Sheila, or I can't remember. Probably Yvette.
Yeah.
All right. So are both of the guys dead? Is that?
Yeah.
Right, so
both of them. Yeah.
I thought I only got one, but I'm going to go with both are dead.
Yeah.
I think either I got one. I started on one and you popped it, and then you got the other one.
Nice pool of blood forming in the snow outside.
So we've still got to get to the Pittsburgh University to Dr. Alcom. He has all of the communication.
Yeah, he has all the information.
That's who he is.
He has all the pineapple too, but that's here or there.
All the pineapple. So we'll.
So we're not going to go there.
No, forget it.
Second, let's not go to Pittsburgh.
No, it's a silly place.
What was that doctor's name? I just wanted for my notes.
Allcom. I had originally spelled it one way. I am now spelling it ALLCOMM because that way I'm going to remember it better.
Okay.
I have no idea how Chris made it.
Like come with me, like I'll come with me.
So who drives? I mean, you took the motorcycle with the girl last time. I drove the car. I'll drive the car.
You guys were finishing putting some chains on the vehicle.
Yeah, we were talking about chains.
It's kind of like Blizzard.
Yeah.
Okay. Going on.
I see you as the car driver.
Yeah, I'll drive. You have to keep her safe. Is there any kind of... Well, I don't know. What do we load the car up with? If we're going to keep getting chased, we probably should put some... Does he have like RPGs or anything in here? Something heavier than pistols.
We'll say he has some RPG 7s, like a couple of them.
Okay.
But now whether they work or not, like I mean,
they're from the 80s.
The projectile will work. Whether it detates on impact, that's here or there. You don't know.
Okay. So we let's load up the car with assorted stuff, whatever it'll hold. It'll give us better traction too.
Yeah.
All right, weigh that car down.
Yeah, throw some sandbags in there. I got laying around.
Make sure we have all our ammo. Now, did we say we talked about the healing kind of stuff last time? And I remember, I think I lost one wound, but I honestly don't remember how that worked. We did say we were going to have all our ammo.
He had some medical gear. Normally, yeah, it's weird on the whole. Like normally, you have to get rest to heal up.
Okay.
We wanted to kind of help you guys out a little bit, especially you, because you were halfway there.
Yeah, I was. Right now, I show 3 wounds out of the what is it, 8?
8, and then you got to start making gut checks.
Right.
Right. So then when you get to 9, then you got to be stabilized, or you start bleeding out. Then it can get real bad.
Okay.
Right. Then you get buried.
Not bad. That's not good. I don't want to do that. So let's get in the car. Got the chains on the car. Let's head out. It's probably not going to be easy to drive regardless.
Yeah.
So,
do you have any Uzis or Mac 10s or a couple dual wielding those just in case?
They would be old though. They wouldn't be as good as what you're using now.
Okay. Like our guns.
Yeah, just be for the aesthetic of
yeah. I'm sure he doesn't have any other cybernetic enhancements here.
No,
this is just all old.
Yeah,
what pre?
I mean, he has some of the ammo for the newer stuff because he knows what's going on. But
yeah,
we grabbed some of the spam too. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Any kind of
chili.
He's got some MREs in there and whatnot.
A couple of cans of tomato paste.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spam.
So are we rolling in the Camaro?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, unless he had a more appropriate vehicle like a Jeep or something.
Well, normally, yeah, but it's not here. Yeah. That's what he had laying around.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's what we do. Let's take the Camaro and let's go.
All right. How far are we from Pittsburgh?
You're probably about an hour and a half out.
Okay.
In this weather or in good weather?
In good weather.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this weather, but you can floor it.
So let's say
there's not a lot of, it's still, we're going to say it's 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, Yeah, about 6 a.m. So 6 a.m. Eastern time. So you guys think started off around midnight in LA, so the time difference.
Cassidy's probably lying down. I mean, she's pregnant. She's probably lying in the back seat.
Yeah, she's very pregnant.
Grab her a couple of Army surplus blankets to keep her warm.
She's chowing down the MREs in the back seat.
Okay.
I'm going to keep a general watch for anyone tailing us. Although where we are, I wouldn't really expect it. Of course, I didn't expect those two guys.
So, yeah. Not a good scenario so far as being undetectable.
So we're just going to drive towards Pittsburgh, which is, I guess, north and or east, probably from where we are.
Probably straight north now.
Okay. We have to make any kind of checks or anything?
Yeah, depending who's driving. I'm not sure who's driving.
I am. I'll be driving. What are we looking at here? I'm going to look at the moves thing again.
I can't remember if you have special driving skills or any. Because it's not a smart vehicle, so you can't really hook up to it with your cyberware. So
I think it's really just if it's a danger. I think it would just be the stay frosty move.
Yeah, I think you would just basically try to, even though we want to be safe, but you don't want to just time's burning up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you don't know what you're going to run into when you actually get to Pittsburgh. So. But you had about 24 hours before, DNA might start degrading and they wouldn't be able to get the information out completely.
Okay.
That'd be pro.
So let's try the Stay Frosty move. So that's roll plus steady, which I have a 1 on. Let's see what we got. I'll roll it here. I should be able to see it here. Oh, that's 8.
8 on the dice.
8.
Straight 8.
Right, so
Straight
that's 8, and I got 1, so it's 9.
Niner.
All right. So
And by the way, if anyone cares, I'm looking at my computer a lot because I've got the rule book up here and I'm also taking some notes. So
Okay.
I'm not ignoring the game.
yes, you are.
No, I promise I'm not. When there's only 2 of us, man, I got to pay attention.
You do kind of have to pay attention. So it's the regular 7 to 9 thing. I succeed, but with some form of cost.
I would say right now, just you're not going to be able to go as fast as you want.
Okay.
So it's just going to burn more time for you, but you're still able to control the vehicle well enough, and there's not enough traffic that you have to worry about running into anybody.
So maybe we
the
get
time of day.
a little more rushed on the other end.
Yeah, there might be a lot of more like trucking, like big rigs rolling around, but not too much normal civilian traffic.
That reminded me, we were in a truck. I almost forgot about that with the drones and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And then every once in a while you'll
moments
see,
ago.
some type of not necessarily state police anymore. It would be like maybe some corporate run security forces, depending where you're located.
Okay.
So you don't really run into any problems until you get to the state border, where one of the security forces kind of like flags you down to have you stop the vehicle.
Yeah.
Or not, whatever you want to do.
Well, that's a good point. Right before we stop, well, my first thought is, do we know how this works normally? Is this just like a regular border check kind of thing? And should we be able to?
You could probably assume that it might be something to deal with the EMP and the warhead going on.
Explosion.
Yeah. So things are going to be able kind of like out of whack because of that.
How is your smooth stat?
I have a 1.
You're +1 on
I have
everything?
a +1. Well, except for skilled. I have a +1 on everything. But my first thought is,
I'm smooth.
I don't know. We could just be driving through, right? Nothing bad. You're in the back with your girlfriend, your pregnant girlfriend, and we.
I was riding shotgun with you.
She's not in the back. All right.
She's lying down in the back.
She's pretty much got the whole back to herself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, pregnant girlfriend's in the back seat, and
Pregnant girlfriend. Tweety, what are you talking about, man?
your sister.
I mean, she's a pregnant teenager. It's not really my type.
Coming out of West Virginia could be your cousin.
That's true. That's true.
It's both of our cousins. We're not related.
I think we should stop, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to lose all our West Virginia fans with that comment,
We
probably.
might be able to get some info from them too.
Yeah. So let's do that. We'll stop
Stop. Try to be.
and see what they say first.
Yeah.
It's their stop, not mine. So I'm not going to just pull up and say nothing to see here.
All right, so he just kind of takes a look in the car, sees the chick in the back seat. Where are you guys headed?
Pittsburgh.
City's on lockdown because of the EMP.
Oh, it went off there?
Unless you have official, no, but there's heightened security.
No, we got a friend that lives outside of Pittsburgh. Maybe we'll stop there.
All right, that's fine. Just FYI. Plus the road's kind of dangerous. It'll be a little better when you get closer to actual civilization. Yeah.
Cyber plows will be out.
Well, no, I mean like the technology of the roads will take care of a lot of the heavy snow. So it'll be really wet.
I always put cyber in front of everything because that's how it works, right?
You probably have heating units under the concrete now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, just be careful.
Okay, thanks, man.
Yep. Nice car.
Thanks.
Retro.
It's very, very retro.
A 68 Camaro in 2050 is pretty old.
It's about 80 years old, pretty much.
It's like
And it's almost like,
Model T.
like pristine condition.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Oh, yeah.
He kept it up.
All
Well,
right.
that sucks. Lockdown. After we drive away, right? So how do we? How does one get into a lockdown city? I don't know if I'm familiar with this. I know how to get into lockdown buildings.
You be very, very quiet.
I'm hunting Tweety Bird.
I guess we'll go over some of that. Like I was going to have to do a little bit of news stuff, so you guys can either toss on the radio or however you guys might look up news. Well,
That's actually a good point. The car does have a radio, but do they still broadcast on AM, FM?
it would probably be a different frequency, but it would.
Yeah.
Like he would
So
have
something
the car,
would pick
he would
up.
have the car as much as old school as he can get it, but he would add a little bit of things to like maintain.
So I guess that's what I would do, especially after the border guard mentions the Pittsburgh being on lockdown. I'd like to turn on the radio, scan through a few stations, and find some news, preferably Fox News if it's on. Because I want the real story.
Right, yeah.
Fair and balanced.
Right.
That would go against my anti-corporate code.
Yeah.
I think X would have a problem.
Probably a conglomerate.
But there's an X in Fox.
So it's usually,
That's true.
so for Cyberpunk, the big things are Network 54 is a big one, and then like there's a worldwide satellite communications company in it.
Okay.
So you could flip between each of those. So there's news obviously about Glibber and Island Rock Group. All the King's Men were killed when an explosion took out their private AV. Happened someplace over mid-eastern U.S. They don't mention anything about it being antimatter on the news. They just say some type of explosion happened, and supposedly the Veer Society is taking credit for it, saying that
They caused the explosion.
yeah, and they say something. And if you guys might know a little bit of information about the Veer Society, they're down with any cyberware. They're more like humans should be as human as possible.
As just a total aside, I read Altered Carbon years ago, but I'm watching that Netflix series right now, and I'm halfway through. Man, it took me an episode or two to get into it. That thing is dope.
Wait till you get it's like the second to last episode. It's like one of the sword fight scene. It's amazing.
Well, I'm just thinking about kind of they're these kind of, I guess, neo-Catholics who don't believe essentially that you can re-sleeve yourself. And
Yeah.
So they may have a little bit in common with these folks.
Something about a relatively new all-in-one technology company called Wizard Technologies formed a partnership with Militech and Lazarus Group. Militech's kind of like almost like a DARPA kind of company where they do a lot of stuff with military technology, things like that. And a lot of corporations in this day have like their own troops. They have their own security force, any corporation. And Lazarus Group is more of a kind of like a Blackwater kind of group where they're military contractors.
No group who uses the word Lazarus is ever good.
Well, it would have been a company that you might have worked for, like using mercenaries and stuff to do stuff across the world. And they kind of like, they usually take jobs for anybody. They're more freedom fighter kind of guys. Like they're more for like straight up freedom. You know, they're not going to. They probably won't work for a government that's going to try to like do some shady shit most of the time.
Who was the first group before Lazarus?
It was Militech.
Militech.
And they're more technology based, but they still have their own troops. But a lot of times you'll see Militech and Lazarus working together depending on what is going on. And then Wizard Technologies.
So who's after us? That's another question I'd be curious about. X. Who X actually after us? Because if the Veer.
Veer.
VIR.
V-I-R.
The Veer company is all about humans should be as humans are. Why would they be sending cybernetic beings after us, or cybernetic folk? That wouldn't make sense. It seems like they'd be sending human people after us. Who's actually trying to kill us? Because that ain't right. I don't like being killed.
I mean, it could be Liquid Holdings.
My mother killed me once.
Could be Lifelong Cybernetics.
Once.
Could be whoever they hire.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, but who? These guys are the ones that we've dealt with so far are pretty much cookie cutter thugs. You don't just hire those except hiring from a group or a company or something. They're not freelancers, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm really curious who's actually trying to stop us right now.
Yeah. Is that something we could check the situation on or make a roll for?
You could.
Or do we not know at this
You could
point?
try to call whatever contacts you have, full strings, all that kind of craziness to try to get some information.
Yeah.
Is that
And
like
it could be either legit info or rumored information.
Right.
It could be all kinds of stuff.
I mean, like,
would
can I
that be
reach out
a
to
drop
Sheila?
science, like when you consult your knowledge of a specific topic or determine facts about your environment?
like kind of
It's spout lore,
thing,
but it's drop science.
yeah, because there's
Would
always
be
stuff
that.
you guys could.
Because it's the thing that neither of us is trained on. It's
Right.
skilled.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that we
all right,
might try it.
We could still roll well.
Yeah.
And I was also trying to think, what was the other one about? It was pulling strings, right? Hitting up a contact for info.
Yeah, which
That's
I think
plus
you have
two.
a
Yeah.
move or something.
Yeah, well, it's just an advance.
Yeah, but you
it's
had
an
something
advance
to
move.
the move, which I don't know what
there you
extra
go.
bonuses you get with that.
So I'll do mine as far as just a drop science. I mean, it sounds like anyway that I'm looking at what's happened so far and trying to figure out who these guys might be involved with anyway, just based on the stuff I know at this point. So yeah, let me try that because it's +0 for me, right? So
Anything
let's
possible?
see. Well, that's 8.
What does that give you on the move?
That is 7 to 9. You give me a general impression.
So you probably figure either LifeLog, Cybernetics, or the Liquid Holdings Group either have their own troops after you, or they hired somebody. Chances are they probably hired somebody just to kind of like move away from the connection.
Okay.
Because you probably think that the guys that were hired, they kind of, even though they weren't wearing uniforms, but they had the look of the usual Arasaka security forces, which Arasaka is like a big, probably the biggest security company in the world.
Arasaka?
Yeah. Even though they've taken some hits over the last couple of years because Lazarus Group and Militech and other companies kind of tired of their crap. They're based out of Japan, but they have people everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. You want to try and make a contact or reach out to a contact? Pull strings, as it were?
Yeah, I mean, we could. Can I reach back out to Sheila, who gave us the job, and see if she knows about who's?
You can try to, but she did say she might be
She said she was going
untouchable,
dark.
like unreachable for 20 to 48 hours. So.
Yeah, and I don't know that my Yvette's going to. I mean,
Send her a text anyway. All right. She might answer.
Yeah, I mean,
just because she's on Do Not
I presumably
Disturb.
has some kind of encrypted communications link to her.
You know, like any net access now is kind of spotty. It still works, but there's definitely issues on the Eastern Seaboard for stuff because of the. Not that everybody knows, they kind of played it off that it wasn't anything crazy. It was just,
Yeah.
But obviously, whoever saw it, knows something. It's just not some normal bomb that went off in somebody's AV,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who would know anything more about what's after us other than maybe Sheila.
Send a group text to all your contacts.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, is anyone up? It's early in the morning. Anyone awake yet?
Yeah. And then you had didn't you have a vet doctor, right? Hawk did.
Yeah, it was. I have it here somewhere. Dr. Vince Smith.
Yeah.
He's a veterans clinic doctor.
Yeah. Not that
Yeah.
he might know some military related information, but not always.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect to reach out to him at this point in the morning anyway.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I'd probably call him a little later in the day if I needed to.
yeah. So the pull strings move is hitting up your contacts.
Yeah.
Which, I've got my prepper friend and then I've got a bartender friend. I don't think either of them are going to be helpful on this.
The bartenders know everything, dude.
I do think I would message Sheila and just be like, who's trying to kill us?
Yeah.
I don't know. Should I roll to see if she responds? Or
That would be to see if she's available kind of thing, to see, or to see if she gets it and then is it going to take you? Well, you guys are going to get the information before when you need it. It's going to be too late for you.
That's 9 plus.
So I rolled a 9 plus smooth, which I think I've got a +2. Let me double check. +1.
No.
That's 10.
Yeah.
So that's 10.
That's a 10 plus.
All right, on a 10 plus, the contact provides useful information related to their knowledge or assistance. By the way, on a 7 to 9, either they would make you wait a day because they have to get back to you, or they're not happy about it. You take a -1 forward with them for the next time you pull strings, or they require a favor in return, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we got a 10, so if she knows something, we should find it out.
That's
All right. What's the message that you send her?
Just say,
It's Sheila. Sheila.
I mean, I think it would be short, like, hitman after us who's trying to kill us, or something like that.
Is that the only intro you want?
Also, what's up with Zenshin?
Well, she's not the one. She doesn't know about him, right? I mean,
Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't.
because it was a vet that gave you the information.
That's true, that's true.
P.S.
I mean, she might know the name because you told her, hey, I used to work with these people, blah, 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 So
Right.
she might, I know the name, but I don't really, I thought he was dead.
Yeah, she's a former flame of mine, so she would know who it was.
Yeah.
Is there something else we should be asking Sheila? I mean, would she know about the EMP? Probably not.
I mean, the other thing I'm thinking is, would your contact have any idea how to get into Pittsburgh if it's locked down? I'm just looking for any help we can get before we go in.
That's a good question.
All right, so who's after you?
Who's after us, and can you help us get into Pittsburgh?
Okay. Takes her maybe, well, you don't know if it takes her that long to respond, but you finally get a response within an hour.
So we're probably not too far from Pittsburgh.
No, you're getting close, yeah.
Okay.
Because I was going to say you're probably about, maybe an hour from state line, then you're almost another hour out from the city because, weather and all that jazz.
Okay.
So she responds like, I assume I can't tell for sure, but I would assume it's, liquid holding LifeLock cybernetics, and they probably, from what I can see, those guys in LA, they looked Arasaka to me, which that's
what I was going to get. That's what I was guessing already.
If you're going to hire
information,
the security force, that's what you're going to get usually. There's a guy, I think he works out of the airport in town. Anytime I'm in that town, I usually go to this guy named Izzy. He's very underground. He's kind of shady, but he gets the job done for stuff. I would say try to hit him up. He usually hangs around the Pittsburgh airport, and she'll send you description.
Okay. So Izzy might be able to help us get in.
Yeah.
Last name Stradlin.
Pittsburgh, which is locked down. All right.
But he's near the airport, which is outside of Pittsburgh proper. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know of any city that actually has the airport in the city.
Yeah, does anybody?
Yeah. That's a new. There's a question for anybody who cares to answer.
I want to say, wasn't there some? Can't remember.
I mean, not right downtown, but Atlanta's pretty close. San Francisco's not too far, but it's got to be a little bit outside for
Vegas have something like that.
Yeah. Actually, Logan Airport in Boston is probably about as close as any, right? It's about 2 miles from downtown.
Yeah, that's a good point. That might actually be in the Boston city limits.
Yeah, if it's not, it's real close. Yeah. Huh. Just across from Chelsea. I know the listeners really care about our airport geography.
They do,
but,
yeah.
Be interesting.
It's just like Providence, Rhode Island Airport is in Warwick, Rhode Island. It's not in Providence.
Right.
Greenville Spartanburg Airport is in Greer.
Yeah. Warwick's
It's not in either of the two cities named on it.
The Nilo Hotel in Warwick.
Yeah.
Great time there. Great time. Always have fun.
So anyway, we're at the Nilo Hotel in Warwick and having great fun, good times.
All right, you guys got to head to the airport.
Yeah, I think
we don't have any other. We
idea.
have no contacts, no leads other than him. So we gotta head there, right?
Got to go find Izzy.
Yeah.
And you got a description of him. Know who to look for.
Yep.
Does he work at the airport? Is that what it said?
He will usually work out of the airport. He's not an airport employee. He's just kind of like. He's like the meet and greet, kind of guy. What do you need me for? Kind of like.
Okay. So that'd be up to you to reach out to him.
Yeah, the unofficial underground concierge.
There you go.
Yeah. Although he does hang out in a lot of the VIP sections of the airport. He's the guy that's got all the connections.
Gotcha.
Whether he's trustworthy or not.
So we know where
he would be like the fixer, the fixer to get to.
Gotcha.
Okay. You're gonna have to reach out to him somehow.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know who.
I mean, so are we gonna go just find him personally, or do we have an electronic contact to reach him?
Can we get him paged at the airport? Is he report to baggage?
You could probably try to get to one of the the VIP lounge to try to
Mm-hmm.
Do they let dudes with katanas on their back into the VIP lounge in 2050?
Yeah, it's not abnormal to see people with weapons on them in this day and age because the way the
TSA is no longer
the government is not the same anymore. Like the world is not the same place. There's a lot of nomad factions in the United States. The states aren't set up completely the same anymore. The government's not set up the same anymore.
So it's like Central America now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
All right, so
there's still a U.S. government, but they don't have a hold of what they used to have hold of. It's kind of a mess.
Right. So we will head to the J.P. Morgan Chase VIP lounge because I assume that they still control half the world.
Which they're probably part of the liquid holding company.
It's JP and Cyber Morgan.
There you go. And I guess we'll saddle up to the bar.
What are we doing with the girl?
She can't drink. She's pregnant.
She probably can't even be in the bar.
Yeah.
And I don't want to drag her around the airport with all the facial recognition here. I was almost thinking that I should probably wait at the car and you go in.
I'll go in.
And I'll keep an eye on her.
Yeah. Right.
I think we want as little exposure to the net as possible.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I would, I guess I'd roll up to the bar in the VIP lounge and just tell the bartender that, hey, I'm here to see Izzy. He's expecting me.
When you get to the airport, you can see there's a lot of they've lowered the power, so there's a lot of emergency power things running on. So the lighting might be dimmer. Certain areas don't have any power. The VIP lounge is still full blast, though.
Oh, of course.
You want to make sure anything that has to do with any flights is full power, but anything else is like shifted, been shunted down to minimal, because they're still having some issues trying to keep things online completely. So you just go to the bartender and ask if somebody named Izzy here?
No, I just tell him, hey, I'm here to see Izzy. He's expecting me.
Okay. I don't know if I've seen him. It's kind of early for him to be in here. I could try to see if I can, give him a call if you want.
Yeah.
How much it's worth.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I'll make it worth your time if you get him for me.
How much you talking?
Tip you on the second drink.
I've got expenses covered, right? So
That's what you said.
Yeah, she gave you a credit stick, and it's
That's a good
well
point.
loaded.
Yeah.
Hand him the stick and say, go to town.
Yeah.
Drink the whole thing.
I mean, he's an underground concierge, so I don't think a 20 is going to do it. Why don't I offer him the equivalent of like $100 today? Is that good?
To the bartender?
Not enough? Too much?
Come on, man. Please. This is the VIP lounge.
There you go.
I mean, we're not going to get...
What does a drink cost in the VIP?
Yeah, I don't even know what we're talking about in terms of money these days. I mean, $1,000?
All right.
All right.
It's not out of my pocket. I should
Still charging a full for drinks, though. You better tip good.
You better.
Oh, of course. I'll take care of you.
So
Tips are usually $1,200.
he makes his call, and he'll be here in about an hour.
Okay. So we need to remember the tipping rates are a lot higher than
At the VIP lounge.
player would have thought. He'll be here? All right.
Yeah, so Hawk, you're in the car.
Yep.
The girl seems like she's fidgeting, being really uncomfortable. She's like, I don't really feel good.
Don't give birth now. That's gross.
Give rub her belly and make her feel better.
So what's wrong? What doesn't feel right?
Well, I got this parasite in me sucking my soul.
Okay. What's wrong? Is it you got a tummy ache? You got what is
Got any painkillers or something?
Whatever first aid kit is in the prepper's thing with 30-year-old aspirin or something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that was cool.
All right. It's a good placebo, if nothing else.
Placenta.
Here, have some placebo. It's a great new drug. So any kind of aspirin or something that might be in I would assume an old first aid kit, maybe current. I mean, you probably
Aspirin's not good for pregnant women.
I want to pick the one that says good for pregnant women and hand it to her. I'm guessing the Nug didn't have any prenatal vitamins handy.
Probably not, no.
But
I think that's likely.
I'm thinking that far ahead.
But any kind of painkiller that would seem to be appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't know, punch in the jaw or something.
Yeah, you could knock her out if you wanted to.
Flask of bourbon.
You got to bring one back with you. It costs you about $5,000.
All right, about an hour later, you see this real skinny, well-dressed, but like cheesy well-dressed,
Oh, was that the description he was giving?
Like Latino guy shows up.
What do you say about Latinos, man?
Nothing.
They're wearing like a shark skin suit.
Yeah.
You said
He's got
they're
like
well-dressed.
a real thin mustache.
This is Izzy.
Yeah.
All right, so
I hear you looking for me, man.
yeah, this is hey, Sheila Eastlake told me that you might be able to help me get a couple of friends into Pittsburgh. I understand things are on lockdown, and we really got to get in there fast.
Like, how fast you talking, man?
All right, yesterday.
The government kind of shut it down. It's going to cost some big monies. And it's talking about.
You got to do what you got to do. I've got to get in there today.
Where do you have to go exactly?
Oh, you said yesterday.
I've got to get to the hospital.
Which hospital?
Oh, we got to get to Pittsburgh University.
Pittsburgh University Hospital.
Oh, university.
That should be a little easier.
There's a heavy presence down there these days. Pittsburgh downtown. With the.
I'm sure there is, but I'm sure it's nothing a gentleman like you can't handle.
Well, I mean, I could get you into the city, but about getting you into the university, that's another job. But I think I might have somebody who could probably get you into, but I'll have to escort you in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you take us as far as you can get us. We'll take care of you.
All right. Okay. How much money we talking? I'll do anything less than 100 grand. Especially this,
All the monies.
Right.
Give him all the monies.
Yeah.
We might need more.
Can't have unlimited funds, right?
No.
So can I make a charisma roll to try to talk him down to 75?
You can try to, yeah. You can try to
make a smooth
negotiation.
I'm gonna try to make a smooth roll to keep him down to 75, even though I'm not sure any of it comes out of my pocket. But here we go, just for fun. 8 plus 1, 9. So she's like, hey, Liz, that's a lot of money. Can we do this for 75? Especially if you can't get me to the hospital. I'll give you 100 if you get me to the hospital, or 75 to get into the city.
All right, I'll take 75 again. The shit city. After that, you got to make your own deal with, to get into the university.
All right, if you
I know some underground roads. You know what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say I'll pay you another 10 for a good contact that can get us to the hospital.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Just you. What's going on here?
No, there's 3 of us.
Okay.
3 of us that got to get. I've got my partner, and then we've got a young lady we need to get into the hospital.
Okay.
Seems reasonable.
All right.
Time. I can't tell where we're on time.
I can tell.
Okay.
37 minutes.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say I could kind of see.
Yeah, it's a little counter.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, gotcha.
Little mini counter.
It affects my mental
It does.
state.
A lot of things do that.
That's true.
All for the better.
So, all right. So we've got. So, what do we need to do? What's the next step?
I'll get you some passes to get in for official business, and then I'll tell you where to meet me in town
Okay.
for the rest of it. Give me about a couple hours.
Okay.
Cool, we're getting fake IDs.
Yeah, kind of get like diplomatic passes almost, kind of get in, don't pay no attention on us kind of thing.
So he says he's got a couple hours. So Kenji just looks up to the bartender and says, "Sapphire martini, not too dry." He's gonna sit there and have a drink on his expense account.
Nice.
He's gonna find a little table in the corner and chill for a little bit. But then obviously I'll go back and relay to Birdman, the Hawk, what we got going on.
It's Birdman.
And you notice Cassidy's like looking pretty uncomfortable in the back. She's like, "How much? Are we going right now? Are we going right now?"
going as fast as we can. We got the passes coming in. We'll be there today.
Thing's ready to pop.
Hold it. Tighten a knot.
I don't have much control over this.
Excuse me, I'm
I
gonna
don't know
reach
if
for
you guys know how
Mountain
this works.
Dew. Need a little refreshment here.
That's probably a good idea.
Mountain Dew to keep it moving.
Refreshing.
Do the do.
Not sponsored.
Not at
but
all.
Mountain
So
Dew.
don't hold the
But if you guys
logo
want
that
to,
way.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Choice of gamers everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't like Mountain Dew.
I guess I maybe should have paid a premium if I didn't realize Cassidy was in so much trouble out here. A little premium for the time, but oh well.
I think she's just whining.
Oh,
I can hear that.
She can't hear me. My lips didn't move.
so Cassidy, what's your story, anyways? How did you get involved in all this?
What are you talking about?
I mean, like,
Oh, I mean,
Does she
right?
know?
I mean, you guys know how that works, right?
The man puts his penis in the...
whoa! I thought it involved a stork.
Well, yeah. It's the male stork.
With his beak.
Beak.
So I'm trying to get a sense. Does she know?
That's what Birdman's all about.
Does she know what she is or what she's carrying and why she's on a plane from LA to Pittsburgh?
She knows, the importance of the baby, but other than that, she doesn't know. Or at least that's what you get from her.
Does she seem like she's telling the truth?
Yeah, she seems like
Yeah.
She seems like a timid teenager.
So tell us about the dad. Is he cool?
I thought he was cool.
Is he rich? Is he rich like me?
Maybe someday.
I mean, do we know any? Are we going to find out anything about her, or is she just a body that we're transporting?
Well, right now she is.
We gotta wait for the alien to pop out.
Oh, God, what happened? All right, as he comes back with the required passes to get you into the town, you can only go over Liberty Tunnel. You gotta go through Liberty Tunnel. I don't have guys anywhere else to kind of let you through.
Okay.
And then I will meet you outside of the Wonderland Club.
Wonderland Club.
So, yeah,
I'll leave it to Kurt to take the notes.
still in the Oakland area.
Yeah.
Wonderland Club.
Oakland?
Yeah.
California?
Pittsburgh area.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the city. You guys never been here before?
Kenji has never been to Pittsburgh. Now, this will be a first time.
Now, see, Hawk may have, but I don't have the internal map. Joe doesn't have a map of it, so that ain't gonna help.
All right, must use Liberty Tunnel. All right, what are we going to get for checkpoints? So are we just going to be good with these passes?
You'll get a checkpoint. You'll give them the pass, and I have some people there to kind of, if there's any trouble, to kind of.
All right.
Okay.
Force the issue, as they say.
So the passes that we're getting, are they corporate, government, diplomatic? I mean, what kind of pass?
It's a government pass to get you through.
So we don't have to look a certain way?
No, it just allows your vehicle to get into town.
Okay, cool.
They'll still check the vehicle, make sure there's nothing shady with it.
Like RPGs?
That's a legitimate point.
Yeah.
That's where my contact comes into play to kind of help you fight that. But they'll check to make sure the vehicle isn't not, doesn't have a bomb on it or something.
Okay. We didn't take any bombs, did we?
All right, so meet our next contact at the Wonderland Club in the Oakland section of the city.
Well, I'll meet you at the club. I gotta kind of,
Okay, awesome.
intro you guys in. And after that, it's out of my hands, though. It's, I hope I can get the extra money to help you out, but, I'll do what I can do.
Okay.
Sheila.
So I'll tap my credit stick to his Apple Pay payment source.
He bends over sweat.
They also take your temperature.
He says, assuming this works out, we appreciate this. We'll put in a good word with you, Sheila.
No, I appreciate that, man.
All right.
Well, let's get rolling before
let's do it before we have a
Mama had
baby in the backseat.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So what is it? Probably late morning now, I think.
I'm sure. Actually, you said it was 5 or something.
I had to wait a couple hours.
We've spent at least a few hours now.
Yeah, kind of waiting around and then, Okay.
I mean, I did have a martini, so it's got to be at least late morning. Trying not to do those before 10 a.m.
Getting close to noon. All right. No issues getting to the tunnel. You guys get there, they will say, stop the vehicle. It's definitely a slow process because of what's been going on, and there are some government officials in town, so it's even worse with the security. If you try to fly over into the city, they'll shoot you down.
Good.
It's pretty hardcore.
Wow.
We'll play it cool.
Yeah.
Just let them check things out, and off we go.
The one guy takes your pass and kind of I gotcha. He's like, I still need to see what's in the trunk regardless. Make sure you can't have certain things coming into the city no matter what.
All right.
But you kind of figured this probably kind of gives you the wink.
Right. So, okay, if there's a problem, let us know.
All right.
There's an extra Kit Kat back there for you.
He comes over. He's like, "You mind if I take one of those 7s you got back there?"
No,
I just want.
As long as we get through,
I
it's
collect
all-
stuff.
as long as we get through it.
Oh, yeah.
He takes one of the RPG 7s.
Go
Kind of
for
like
Yeah.
puts it off to the side. He taps. They're good.
Awesome.
Cool.
Sun is starting to hit us a little bit in the windshield, so
There's not much sun really. It's it's still snowing pretty good.
Oh, it's still snowing?
Yeah. Although the roads don't seem bad when you're closer to the city, that you see that it's just wet.
As soon as it's light out, though, you want to reduce the snow glare.
Well, I was going to say, Kenji's got to put on his sweet, Neo-style sunglasses regardless. So.
Yeah, so it's kind of like an overall gray,
Okay,
so it's still kind of dark, but not too bad. So when you come over the bridge, you can see the city skyline, and obviously it's going to be more futuristic looking than it would normally look right now.
Darker, definitely.
So you go over the river and all that, you can see a bunch of AVs flying around. Some of them look like they're military. It could be Militech or Lazarus AVs. You see markings. So it seems like it's a lot more crowded than usual because of what's going on.
Probably drones up around in the air and stuff like that.
Usual stuff. And then you actually have to drive by, close to the University of Pittsburgh to go to the Wonderland Club. So you definitely notice that there's a heavy presence of Militech and Lazarus in the area.
Yeah.
Which not completely abnormal, just maybe a heavy presence of it is a little bit abnormal. And that they're just driving around, or you see them more in the streets, hanging around and stuff.
So they're normally there, just not as visible, is it?
Well, yeah, you might only notice one, and now there might be half a dozen vehicles that you notice. It's kind of like certain times you might see more cop cars on the road. It's a little kind of like that. That kind of thing. You guys get to the Wonderland Club. And when you get outside of that, even though it's daytime, you can still see a lot. Everything's like super lit up. There's like holograms that cross over the street, like, you know, these naked women dancing, all that kind of stuff. You know, the usual like futuristic. Everything's like a Vegas on steroids kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So you know about the Wonderland Club's kind of like a multi-leveled club that has like would have like a concert kind of venue, and then maybe like a sex club, and maybe like a more of a VIP lounge, more upscale kind of thing. But it's all run by the same person. So you see Izzy outside, just kind of like hanging around, twiddling his phones, looking at his phone, making deals.
So you haven't met him yet, right?
No, but it might be good not to introduce new people to the contact.
Yeah.
Don't make them nervous.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think
I can pull up in the car and.
Well, he knows there's more than one of you, obviously.
Yeah. But
yeah, you can let me out of the. I mean, you can pull up, let me out, and I'll just go over.
Well, I can just stay there for as long as they let me until they tell me I need to move the car.
And
you would need to move the car. You can't leave it sitting there.
Okay. I'll drive around to block.
Also, don't know if we should bring the pregnant lady into the sex club.
I think she got
your call.
She won't answer it. Something about boys or something. I don't know.
Well, he'll at least drop me off, and I'll roll up and say, "Hey, no problem."
So you're just gonna keep circling.
I'll circle.
Keep moving.
Keep it running. Got to keep it warm. It's snowing and stuff outside. She needs to be kept warm.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of going to pass you off to the Queen of Hearts in here. She's usually pretty good about stuff. She's I wouldn't say she's too pricey, but a little bit pricey, you know. There are other. I know she has ways to get into the University of Pittsburgh. That's kind of like underground rap. That's always more interesting, you know, underground. So you guys would have to talk to her, but I can definitely get you an introduction.
All right. Should I get my partners?
Yeah, I would say, because if you guys make the deal, she's probably going to want you to get going and get the money and get you guys out of her hair kind of thing.
All right. You probably
do my little Google Glass text message to you and say, meet me inside.
All right. You ready for a walk, girl?
As long as I can get this thing over with.
We're one step closer.
Yeah. One step closer to the edge.
I'm about to break. Let's find a parking spot and head in.
Okay. You see all kinds of people coming in and out of this club, like on the bottom floor, right? Because it's 3 separate clubs. But now the concert venue probably wouldn't have anything going on, but the sex club would be going 24/7. So would like the VIP kind of like upscale kind of place. So you see people very well dressed, like high society people coming in and out, and you see people, the usual like. Could be any kind of like S&M bondage looking people to people like almost completely naked, you know, with just maybe paint on, walking in, even in this kind of weather, you know. Now, some people are very cybered up. Some people are like kind of half and half, maybe like you guys, where it's not as noticeable cyberware, maybe just like eyes and kind of things like that. It might be internal cyberware, things like that. But it's very almost, I don't know, it's kind of like a mixed mash of all kinds of society types in here. Because of how the club's set up.
So X is looking pretty smooth with his line coat, his katana and everything, his sunglasses, and then meanwhile Birdman here rolls in with his pregnant chick who's just harping on him.
She's wearing a heavy leather jacket and probably dragging her along with a wool blanket around her.
I don't know how you view your character in your mind, but he's kind of Mickey Rourke to me.
For which movie though?
Not too late. Like actually, you're thinking Kurt Russell, right?
I'm actually thinking more like Nick Nolte from 40.
Okay.
48 Hours.
Yeah, because he kind of had like a Snake Plissken thing about it a little bit, right?
Yeah. All right. So,
so what do you now? Granted, usually your sniper rifle's in a case, right?
Yeah.
Are you taking it? Are you leaving the car?
I mean, if the case is small enough that I could wear it like a backpack, I would bring it with me.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave the RPGs in the car.
One RPG now.
Yeah. We can leave it in the car.
All right.
Set with a remote detonator.
The way this is set up, when you come into like the entry point, there's like a very small elevator that will only go from to the 2 clubs. It doesn't go to the very top club. And then there's a very steep set of stairs, but it is wide enough where you can probably get maybe 3 or 4 people going up the stairs at a time. It's very steep, then it goes all the way up, to each club. There are guards at the doors, though, at the elevator doors. Mm-hmm. So they'll only let certain people. You can see Izzy talking to those guys now, trying to like, yeah, hey man, you can kind of like hear. Hey,
yeah, we don't need her giving birth on the stairs.
Yeah, we need to talk to the queen. Blah 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 blah. So he comes back over and he's like, all right, I can let one of you up with the girl through the elevator. The other guy's gonna have to take the stairs. Sorry, man. It's kind of cramped, and you can see him. Every once in a while the door open. It's like maybe 3 or 4 people max in there. It's very tight quarters. And
I'll take the stairs.
The space.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go up with Cassie.
Mm-hmm. I'm just keeping it with. It's been your contact. Let's keep you with the person.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm on kind of heightened alert now because I've got to watch out for her. So and I don't like the close space. So I'm going to be ready to go, and just in case.
And I just want. How many flights does it need to go up?
You'll go up 3 flights.
All right. So I'm going to try and get up them as fast as the elevator would, so I can be there when the elevator opens up.
Gotcha. When you get before you get in the elevator, they're gonna be like, yeah, you can't bring that katana in here, man. Like, we'll hold it the guy down here, and they want to just check.
They can check for everything, or just the katana? Because I have my dual.
Yeah, but they can't. But the pistols are not worried about as much.
Can it go up the stairs?
Yeah,
I can take it.
They just don't want to.
Okay.
How's your case set up? Is it something if they looked at it, they would know?
I wouldn't expect it.
Okay.
I mean, what I'm thinking of is some like a ukulele-looking case kind of thing.
Okay.
Not necessarily that it looks like an instrument case, but just plain.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, triple-link lunchbox.
Right. I mean, if I have to leave it, I have to leave it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not optional. So
you can get it on when you come back out. No big deal.
Yeah, so I just leave it with those guys?
Yeah.
All right.
And then take the ride up. Is there any kind of, you want to try to make it so you're timing it? So I just want to see.
I want to make sure I'm there when the door opens.
I just want to see, because these are like very steep stairs.
Sure. I guess it would just be the same regular Defy Danger.
Just
I never remember the name of it.
People on there too, right?
Yeah, there's people coming up and down. So he's got to kind of push people out of the way or dodge around people.
Yeah.
Everybody's just taking their time.
It is Stay Frosty. That's what it is.
Stay frosty.
Stay Frosty. So I add steady, and let's see how that works out. Ooh.
6.
7. That's 7.
Plus
Steady
1.
is 1. So that's a 7. I might make it there.
Yeah,
the
so
other breath
he's
or
going to be a
whatever.
little late. He's like,
You didn't say frosty. You stayed kind of like a little warm.
Lukewarm. Remain lukewarm is the move I did.
right. In the elevator, it's completely quiet, except for if you guys are talking or anything. When you get closer to the level where you need to get off, you can kind of hear like the low thump of music.
Okay.
Music. But like in the elevators, you don't hear anything. Yeah, except from crappy elevator music. Yeah, right. Yeah, and if anybody wants to know, I would say if you want to listen to music while you're listening to this podcast, put on the album "Bad Blood" by The Encounter. Perfect for this kind of stuff.
I'm thinking kind of higher class with a S&M sex club would probably have like Enigma rolling or something.
No.
Seems to be very popular with them.
Yeah.
Not that I would.
We could find some, royalty-free music. I'd play it in the background while we play the game.
So you get up, the elevator door opens, and you see like a floor full of people dancing. Some of them might look like they're having sex because it's like strobes and all kinds of lights. There's the holograms going like craziness. Looks like there's people like an orgy on the stage. So it kind of smells like sweat and sex in here, plus what other kinds of odors of, like they try to mix in to make it smell nice,
Which is probably some combination of vanilla, strawberry, and coconut or baby oil.
Maybe pineapple too, I don't know.
Oh, hot pineapple scent.
So it's almost like
Joe, I hate to do this, but I went to Cookout yesterday. I had a banana pineapple shake. Now, that was not hot pineapple,
That's
so that's okay,
That's
right?
fine, yeah.
It was delicious.
Cold pineapple is an awesome fruit. It's delicious. I love it. Hot pineapple sucks.
All right, sorry. Hate to break the mood there. But.
They're right. And then, so it's very sensory overload, unless you guys, I don't know what kind of cyberware you guys have in your eyes. It's almost like too much for your eyes to start processing.
I have the thermographic low light, which helps in assessing a situation.
Okay.
Oh.
So you might be able to kind of cut some of that. I don't know what you took if you took anything at all. I can't remember.
I have some enhanced hearing.
I didn't know if you took anything for cyber eyes or not.
I don't think I did.
So it's almost like hard to concentrate or make things out in here. Like you have to like really concentrate to like pinpoint.
I have data jack. Let me just check what that is quick.
That's just to hook up to other things,
Okay.
like a computer system, things like that, or maybe smart like weapons or vehicles.
Okay.
So your low light's not completely helping filter everything out. It would, it helps out a little bit in certain spots, but not completely. So it's a little bit like, oof, when you finally get up there and you like catch your breath. You don't see him. Well, you can't really see where he is. You know, he's the stairs on the other side of the opposite side of the room from where the elevator doors are. One of the guards will say, "Wait here," and then Izzy just kind of like Izzy kind of follows that guy to go.
Okay.
Chris is very squeaky.
I wasn't squeaky earlier either. I tried to make sure I wasn't squeaking. Now it's like getting all squeaky.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. You guys hear in your voices though, or not in your voice, in your heads, kind of like in your like whatever communication device you have hooked up. You hear time is running out.
Uh-oh.
You guys both hear that in your head.
What was that?
So we hear that like through our electronic, like
Yeah. Through the communication we've been using. Is it typically private and like we just got hacked kind of thing?
Yeah, you would be. You guys can set it up where you can just go from you to you without any like man in the middle attacks or whatever you want to call it. You know, so it seems like it's kind of weird that somebody's kind of like. And the thing is, you both heard at the same time, but
right. Does it sound like Sheila or?
No, it sounds like a male voice. Time's running out.
Who is that? I'm gonna say that. Who is this?
You don't hear anything. I mean, do you even like? So you don't see him yet. You don't see each other.
Right.
You just know where you probably are located when you guys get to that level.
I know it's not his voice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a voice you have not heard.
So you would hear me say, "Who is that? Who is this? Hey." And the place is loud enough that I'm probably not drawing any attention by just saying, "Who is this?"
Yeah. And then you got a bunch of people kind of like coming over trying to dance up on you, both of you, even like the pregnant girl, and she's just like, "Oh, Cassie's getting annoyed. Like, oh, stay away."
Yo. Don't worry, you can't get.
Some of them have like the cybernetic tongue coming out, look like a snake.
Nice.
You know. Some of them even comes from out underneath a dress. Yeah. They kind of wrap around. Yeah. Some of them have just they're just some type of like weird body paints. They're not even like wearing clothes. You know.
Yeah.
Awesome. And it's very loud in here. Very loud.
So who are we meeting?
Well, we're hoping to meet the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
Right.
But is he going to get her?
Yeah, he's gonna go. Kind of.
Is he?
Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna work it out?
Time is running out, so I hear that as well. And I'm thinking to get her to the hospital or for something else.
Well, I'm going to move over to be with them. I'll dance up on whoever I need to get
to kind of
through,
like
right?
work your way in.
Exactly.
All right.
I'll get up on the front, move around to the back, and then keep walking, kind of thing.
Right.
You know.
So you notice that you're working your way over and you're checking like the perimeter, and there's a lot of like kind of like private booths that you probably would have to pay more money or be a member to like always sit in those booths. You see a guy sitting in one of the booths that kind of looks like you ever see the movie Strange Days with Ray Fiennes and Angela Bassett? It's kind of very cyberpunk film. So you know what Ray Fiennes looks like. So he's the guy that played Voldemort. He kind of played the douchebag in Schindler's List, and he's been a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like like 5 o'clock shadow, like hair down to here, just like kind of like scraggly looking hair, but he's dresses really nice. And you kind of see him sitting over a table just kind of looking at you, and he's got like a drink, and then like the stir on the drink is just moving by itself.
Cool. I want one of those.
Yeah, and he kind of just puts some sunglasses on and like smiles, and then that's it.
That's where we want to end it?
Well, no.
Okay.
You make your way over to him, but you just you notice that you kind of thought that was odd.
Okay.
But then you make your way over to X-Man.
So I'm going to leap right to a conclusion and say I think I know who was just talking. You heard the voice too, right?
I did.
Okay. There's a guy sitting over at a private table over here, and he's way too conspicuous. I'm guessing that's where the voice came from. We should probably check that out after we meet with the Queen.
And then you guys hear like a a change in the music, and the stage kind of like, even though there's an orgy going on, it kind of like separates a little bit out. People kind of move out of the way a little bit, and people are looking at the stage like chanting and putting their hands up, and then you see like out of the top part of the stage, like the door opens, and you see this like probably the most beautiful woman you've ever seen coming out, and it looks like, can't tell if she's wearing clothes or not, because it looks like the colors on her body keep shifting and changing all the time. Like she's got this like tattoo of this dragon and hearts on it, like moving all around her body, just not except for her face, it's moving all around her. And she got these two huge dudes that you could probably tell they're super cybered up, but they still look human, but just barely. Like they're not full Borg dudes, like full conversions, but they look like beefy, and they kind of look like Tweedledum Tweedledee kind of outfits, but just coming down right behind her.
I think we found her.
I think that's our lady.
And then you kind of see Izzy trailing behind. It looks like he kind of like looks a little upset, but not too. He doesn't look roughed up or anything. He just kind of looks like keeping his head down kind of thing. And they kind of come right down into the crowd, and like we're making our way over to you guys.
Oh, at least we're not obvious or anything. Call attention.
Not too obvious.
Right. I guess
she kind of like dances her way through everybody, like, on the crowd, and she. Well, the Tweedledee and Tweedledum kind of guys will like let certain people get touched her, and other people they just backhand, and you see people just get nailed, and it looks like they don't even mind. Like they're kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
All part of the show.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I think I would kind of just walk forward towards her, and then just kind of step up and kind of just open my hands, showing them here, and then
jazz hands,
and then give her
knife hands,
and then maybe give her like a little quarter bow, maybe. I don't know why. It just feels right.
The queen.
She holds out her hand, man.
Okay.
So kind of like kiss it.
Which he will do. Okay. So kind of ritualistically, not romantically.
So it's still very loud in here, but she just holds up. She kind of tells all of you to come in a little closer, and she just like this little device comes on and like kind of lights up like a bluish and reddish light. Kind of like goes back and forth, the blue and red, and it's almost like it filters out all the loud sound. Like it almost goes down to like a low, kind of like when you were going up the steps. That's what it sounds. But if you back up a little bit, it'll get real loud again. So it's very close.
Awesome. Like noise cancellation almost.
Yeah. And then she'll ask, I heard you guys need some help getting into the university.
We do, and time is of the essence.
Yeah. How much is that going to cost? How much is that going to cost?
How much is that going to take?
How much you got? And she's kind of eyeing the girl, like looking at her.
Right.
I see she's been spoiled.
She's not for sale anyway.
Well, everything's for sale in this one.
Right. So
almost everything.
Yeah, I would figure if it took us 75 to get in here, it's going to take more than that to get into the hospital from here. So right. I would offer 100 to get 76. To the hospital. If we, I'd offer 100 to get us there like in the next hour. See what she says. I mean, I have no idea. Like, or maybe I do. Maybe Kenji would know exactly what the rates are. In which case, you'd have to tell me.
Well, you got to figure. You might know what the going rate is, but how important is this to happen in the amount of time you want it to happen in?
The thing I'm trying to think of is if I can't remember. I thought you said are we getting $1 million for the job?
She said 10 million.
Oh, 10.
She was giving you 5 into your account as soon as it happened. Another 5 would come when.
Okay. In that case,
she gave you credit sticks with $100,000 on 100,000 each on them. Okay. She gave you 2 when we were in.
Okay.
You've burned 75 already for his name, and maybe a couple more for certain.
Right.
So you probably have $20,000 left on it. He's got still full 100.
Yeah.
But you could still transfer money out of your own account.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So all right. So we have 10. We're getting paid 10 times what I thought we were getting. So the expenses can be higher.
To $500,000.
Yeah.
You guys are feeling really good right now, by the way. You guys feel like abnormally, like really euphoric.
$500,000 plus an evening with her. Yeah. I mean, 500. It's a lot. It's a lot of money, right? Just to move us a couple blocks.
I don't know. 500. When she's kind of like rubbing on your chest, and
maybe $1 million.
Now you're talking. She kind of like turns around and like
I don't feel like I had control over that decision.
She turns around and kind of just does this and starts sashaying back to where she was going to go. Kind of gives you the follow along.
So we get to follow her. All right.
Yeah, so you guys kind of go back away, like onto the stage through like the orgy up the steps, and she's, Tweedledee Tweedledum guys are keeping the people away, and they kind of tell Izzy to fuck off, basically. Yeah. But you're starting to feel like you even notice. I'm assuming you're still trying to take care of.
Yeah, I'm keeping her
Cassie.
close.
She's having trouble walking, like she's feeling really woozy. Feeling.
Support her as much as possible.
Okay. And even by the time you guys get to the top of the stairs, you guys are both feeling almost like a little drunk.
Okay.
She's obviously influencing us somehow with a
You never know.
machine and touch.
So you guys get up into like another like elevator system, like another about the same size as the one you came up in. A little bit bigger though, because you're jamming more people in here. And then it all goes black.
Inside the elevator, or
you're
Getting knocked out.
Yeah, I feel like you pass out.
is that where we're going to stop for this episode?
Is that where we're going to stop? All right. Well, then I guess we could all say something like,
Thanks for listening and watching.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.